Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Delisa Robinson, the real estate diva, out here in these real estate streets. Well, not anymore. I just got in from being in the real estate streets. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about the reason why wholesalers not making no money. I'm gonna just put it out there like that because a lot of y'all not making the money, not doing the things that you're supposed to do to make the money. So we're gonna talk about 10. There are definitely 10 different reasons as to why wholesalers are not making any money. Okay, if you're wholesaling real estate, tap in. If you know somebody who needs this information, share. If you're on Instagram, share this with at least five people. And also, if you want to know when I'm going to go live, text the word diva to 716 8. Ooh, I was about to give you my real phone number. Hold up. The text number is 716 306 3316. That is when I'm going to go live. I'll text you out when I'm going to live. I'll text you out about classes. I literally just text out today about the free wholesaling series that I have, wholesaling training that I have coming up. I have 4 sessions already scheduled. 5, I think. 5 sessions already scheduled. Every Wednesday starting May 31st up until June 21st, I will be teaching wholesaling live in the flesh. No recordings. It's going to be live. So you can click the link in my bio if you're on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, because I'm on LinkedIn today too. Facebook group, Hammers and Hills. Hey, y'all. We are going to break down today 10 reasons why you are not making any money as a wholesaler for real estate or an investor using wholesaling as an exit strategy for real estate. Okay. Now, for those of you who don't know me, let's talk about the rules of engagement when you come into a live with me. When you come into a live with me, the first things first is this. Number one, if I say something and you don't understand what it is that I said, please ask a question. If you ask the question, I will answer the question to the best of my ability. If for any reason I can't answer the question, I'll tell you, hey, I'm not exactly sure about that answer, but let me go get the answer for you and I'll inbox you and let you know what the answer is. Okay, that's number one. Or I'll answer it right underneath the video. Okay, number 2, if this is your first time, don't let it be your last. And if you've been here before, thank you for coming back. I appreciate it. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Delisa Robinson. I've been in the real estate streets now for 25 years. I bought my first investment property back in February 4th, 1998. It was a duplex in Buffalo, New York, and I house hacked, literally. I rented out the upper because for those of you who are not familiar with Buffalo, our duplexes go upper. Most of them go up and down, not side to side. So I rented out the upper unit. I lived in the lower unit, and the upper tenant paid my rent. That's basically how it went down. And from there, I purchased about that one in 98. Excuse me. Then I sat on it for a minute before I decided which way I wanted to go. And then fast forward 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 years later, I've got almost 40 doors and counting. And then the bubble burst, not the bubble that you guys are thinking about. My divorce bubble burst. And so we liquidated everything. And now I'm going to take you on a journey and I'm going to rebuild those same 40 doors. Not the same ones, but you know what I mean. I'm going to rebuild those 40 doors and get back out to where I was because I have a game plan for this year. And I broke down my strategy last week when we talked about how you should be setting up your goals. Okay. Now, for those who are ready, if you can hear my voice and you can see my face, I suggest you drop the number 1 in the comments so I can see who you are. Tell me where you're from, how are you doing, where you've been, who you're hanging with, and all this other stuff. First of all, now I keep telling y'all, share this video, share the lives, invite people in. Stop keeping me a secret. I'm serious. I'm tired of being a best kept secret, okay? I need to be out here in these streets because I need to teach as many people as I can the things that I know. Because my whole purpose for doing these lives is to train, coach, and teach and educate and edutain you in the world of real estate. So first things first, I did say I was going to give you guys 10 mistakes that wholesalers make. 10 reasons why wholesalers aren't making any money. I'm going to get into that in just a second, but I do have a few housekeeping things. I mentioned it already. I'm going to mention it again. I am hosting a free 99. You don't have to pay me. 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 If you want to pay me, you can if you want to, but you don't have to pay me. We are going to break down, we're going to teach you contracts to closings, wholesaling real estate. I'm going to teach this class live. I'm going to warn you now a few things with this course. When I do this training, this is different from all the other trainings I've done before. This is not as intense as the Get Wired boot camp, where we actually do the work of wholesaling. This is me teaching you how to wholesale, which is what a lot of you have asked me about. How can I learn how to wholesale? Well, this is it. It's free. Now, normally, I'm going to be honest with you. The deal that you guys are getting with me and this class is going to be at least 3 hours, at minimum 3 hours. And it may go to 4 and it may go to 5. Now, if any of you guys remember, back in 2021, I did an Airbnb class and we were on live on Zoom for 5 hours. I do not scrimp. I do not skip things. I go in detail. I answer questions. And this one, I got a surprise for you guys. So if you're going to tune in, click the link in the bio, tap the first. It's not the first button, but it says contracts to close free webinar or free training, something like that. And register. And you can share that link. One Florida Spectator at the moment would like to get into real estate as a landlord. Okay, that's easy to do. And if you don't have any money, wholesaling is a good way to start. Do you have any courses that go over tax liens? Yes, I do. It's my Creative Finance Strategies course. I give you the details on how to do tax liens and tax deeds. The other thing, yes, I caught the Airbnb class. It was amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Now, because I don't want to keep you guys, it's already 8 o'clock. And usually, I come on about 7, 6:30, 7:30 at the latest, but 8 o'clock. This is going to take, I'm going to break down, I'm going to try and get through all 10 because I am going to explain why it's not working for you. And I'm going to explain to you how to fix it. So roll your sleeves up. So now this is what I like to tell you all. Grab paper, pen, take notes. My lives don't always stay up, just so you know. I do take them down and I house them in these real estate streets coaching library. That's where they go. So for those of you like, well, you did this live before. Yeah, you have to be in these real estate streets with me in order to get that information. Okay, I don't always keep them up. Now, what I am going to do is tell you this. In July, we are going to be doing a 12-week intensive workshop. Well, I call it an academy because that's what it's going to end up being. My 12-week real estate academy. These 12 weeks, we are going to focus on wholesaling. It is more intense than what the Get Wired Bootcamp is. It's going to be way more information, way more work, and you definitely going to be doing work. And after those 12 weeks of being in there with me, I am hoping that you guys walk away with not 1, not 2, but at least 2, 3, 5. How many ever want wholesale deals you want to walk away with? But that's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to be going over the process of building your business for real estate investing, because right now, a lot of you are not set up correctly, and we have to get you guys set up so that you can, so that we can actually get you into the, wait a minute, I don't have the right notebook. Oh, yes, I do. It's in front of me. Hold on. Here we go. Boom, boom. See, I got notebooks all over the place. But this one, I wanted to tell you guys what the 12-week program is going to entail, because a lot of you are going to ask me that, and I figured I might as well say now. Right? Okay. We are going to go over setting up your real estate investment business from scratch. We are literally going to set up the business. I'm going to show you how to do it on your Department of State. We're going to show you how to do it yourself so you don't have to pay somebody thousands of dollars to get it done for you. Okay? We're going to We're going to have a speaker come in, and we're going to have somebody talking about, well, I've already talked to her. We're going to have Kyra Dot from Credit Cleanse come in. She's going to give you guys strategies for your business to build your business credit portfolio. We're going to do deal analytics. We're going to meet twice a week for 12 weeks. So that's 24 sessions. We're going to meet twice a week for 12 weeks. We're going to write out our scripts. We're going to write out all 4 scripts. And you guys are like 4, and in some cases there's 5. Okay. The first script is going to be the cold calling script, the warm leads, follow-up scripts, your text message scripts, and I'm going to show you how to write out yellow letters and postcards. We're going to do virtual wholesaling in depth. We're going to research the market, see what we got, because some of you, which is what we're going to go over in the mistakes tonight, you guys choose the wrong market. That's one of the mistakes that you guys are making. We're also going to talk about JV agreements, partnerships, scaling your way up to 100K. We're going to talk about lead generation. We're going to go over all 4 contracts, and we're going to talk about closings. And I'm going to have a closing attorney or a closing title or a title company person representative come in and speak to you guys about different closings and how you can close wholesale deals so that everybody don't know what you're doing. And it's not always a double close. Okay, just so you know. So because a lot of people like to say, oh, that's just a double close. No, not always, but there it is. All right. So let's get started with these 10 reasons that wholesalers or investors, or like we like to say in our world, investors that use wholesaling as an exit strategy. Let's talk about what y'all doing wrong. The reason why y'all not getting the money. Okay. You're not getting any money. No mula, no mucho, dinero, no. Okay. Number 1, this has to be the biggest mistake that I've seen people make. You guys do not know your numbers. You don't know how to calculate numbers. You don't know how to look up the numbers. You don't know what the numbers stand for. You don't know how to do your numbers. Now, first of all, let's break down the numbers that you need to know. On the seller side, when you're negotiating with the seller, you need to know comparables, which are comps, COMPS, comps. Comps have to be your 4 highest. You can go 3, 4, some people do 5. Highest sold. They have to be sold. They can't be for sale. They have to have sold, meaning the deal already closed. Everybody's going home, happy, go lucky. The seller got their check, the buyer paid their money, and the attorneys and the title companies all got their money. It's closed. It's sold. That's what sold means. Okay. So you have to say it's sold. So the 4 highest comparable properties to the subject property that has sold within a 1-year time frame and a 1-mile radius. Now, here are the exceptions to that rule. The exceptions to that rule is this. Sometimes you may not have, if you're in the city, it's 1 mile. If you're in the suburbs, it's 3. And if you're in a rural area or country or agricultural district, whatever you want to call it, it is 5 miles. Okay, that's when you change the difference on that. That's number 1. Then what is a comp? A comp is comparable property. That means if your subject property, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, deeps and dudes, heifers and hustlers, the subject property is your property that you are attempting to wholesale. That's the subject property. So if that subject property has 3 bedrooms and 2 baths, your comparable properties or comps must have 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, let's talk about the square footage. You have to go 300 up or 300 down. So if this subject property is 1,500 square feet, then the comps can range from 1,200 to 1,800. Everybody understanding that? Oh, and another thing too, don't mind my attire. I just came back from looking in nasty houses. So y'all gonna get this sweatsuit. Y'all gonna get this hoodie and jeans today, okay? All right. Now, that's that. So again, comps, 4 highest sold within a 1-mile radius within a 1-year time frame. When do you have exceptions to the rule? If it's in the city, it's 1 mile. Suburban areas, 3. Rural, agricultural, country, whatever you want to call it, 5. Now, here's another time when it may or may not work for you. Sellers markets. If we are in a seller's market, your time frame should go to 6 months, not stay at a year. Okay? So then you're going to take, that's how you do comps. Boom. You got your 4 comps. Now, what are you going to do with the 4 comps? You're going to average the dollar amounts. And when you average the dollar amounts, you get what we call after repair value. This is the value. This is what the society is saying the value of the house will be once it's sold, once it's renovated. Sorry. Once it's completely renovated, this is going to be the value of the house. So it's the average of the 4 highest. And then that's what you do to use your numbers. So ARV is the average of the 4 comps. That's after repair value, ARV. Okay? Everybody got this? Give me the number 1 in the chat if you understand what I said. Nobody has any questions. Give me the number 1. Let me know that you guys understand that, because I do not want to move on, because not knowing your numbers is huge. Because if you don't know your numbers, you're going to mess up the numbers and you're not going to make any money. Or you're going to get gypped out of some money not knowing what you had. Okay? All right. Now, okay, y'all not putting the numbers in the chat. That's okay. Repeat it. Okay. Comps. Repeat the comps or the ARV. And I'll give you comps. Comps are comparable properties to the subject property. The subject property is a property that you are attempting to wholesale. Okay, it's a property you're going to market. It's a property you're going to sell. It's a property that you have under contract. That's your subject property. Now, when we do that, now the next step is to get ARV, after repair value. So if you have, let me get out my best friend. Y'all know my assistant. Meet my assistant calculator. Okay. Now, ARV is calculated by having your 4 highest comps that have sold within a 1-mile radius, unless you are where? Suburbs or country or rural areas, agricultural districts, whatever you want to call them. Okay. These 4 comps now have to be averaged. So because we don't have a whole lot of time on here today and I want to get through this. So say the average comp, excuse me, the average came out to be $300,000. Okay. So if that's the average, then your ARV, after repair value, so after this property that you are wholesaling is completely renovated, kitchen's updated, bathrooms updated, paint, fixtures, roofs all done, it's move-in ready. Once it's in a move-in ready status, then that's the ARV. That's the after repair value. So it's $300,000. So you're going to take all 4 of your comps. You're going to add the price that they sold for up. You're going to divide it by 4. That is your after repair value. Be all good? Okay. Now I'm going to tell you now, if you don't understand what I just said, click the link in the bio and tap what? The button that says contracts to close, wholesaling real estate, free training, because this is something we go over in depth in that training. I even will show you how to calculate it using just the square footage of the houses in the area when there has been no comps. Okay. I show you how to create your own comps using the square footage. All right. So if you haven't, now is the time. And y'all don't even have to do all that. Y'all can just download the business and what, whatever. All right. Now, one more thing before I forget what I was doing. One more thing. Let me do this real quick because I don't know what I'm doing half the time. Excuse me. And a lot of you know, if you've been following me for at least the past month, you all know that I came back from Vegas with one of my best friends, and I ended up with COVID. Just to give you guys an idea. Okay. Yeah. So I'm not recovering from COVID, but I am recovering from, I still have the cough. The virus is gone, but I still have the cough. So it is what it is. I've only been back, a month, and it's still here. So, all right. Now, if you're on LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube, I just dropped the link in the chat. So if you guys want to register for the free class, you can. Instagram, tap the link in the bio. You can do it that way. Okay. Now. You don't know your numbers. Now that's just not it. It's not just calculating the comps and getting the ARV. You now have to have max offer allowed, MOA, or they call it max allowable offer, MAO. I'm more comfortable saying max allowable offer, so that is what I use. Okay. Max allowable offer has to be calculated based upon industry standard or what your buyer's lender is going to give them for the percentage. Okay, and I'll give you an example. Industry standard says you take the ARV. We said the ARV was 300,000, right? Right. So you multiply that by 70%. You're going to get $210,000. That's 70%. However, we spoke to Ryan the other day on my segment that I do called At the Closing Table. We spoke with Ryan, and he said his lender gives him 90%. So if his lender is giving him 90%, that's $270,000. Okay, because you multiply the 300 by 90. Now there are my other client, he gets 85%. So if I do 300,000 times 0.85, that gives me 255,000. So we use 70% as an industry standard because across the board, all the industries, most real estate lenders are going to use that 70%. If you're a new person flipping a house, you've never flipped a house, and you don't know you should know your buyer's lender's criteria, because what? We have the buyer's wholesaler's guide to building your buyer's list, and most of you have it. If you don't, guess what? If you register for the class, it's going to email you a free copy of that guide. So go ahead and register. Now, in that guide, it teaches you how to build your buyer's list, the things that you need to ask your buyers so that you can be a more proficient wholesaler for them, right? So now so it depends on where your buyer's at. If your buyer's brand spanking new, not doing anything, they might even get 50%. They might get 60%, 55%. It all depends on the lender that they're using. And most lenders will give you a higher percentage if, one, your personal credit is up to date, or two, you've flipped before and they've worked with you before and they know how they're going to get paid back. It's your experience. Okay, so that's that. Now, once you take that 70%, you then have to do what? Subtract construction. But Delise, I don't know how to calculate construction costs. I don't know how much a roof is going to cost. A roof in California might cost different from a roof in Mississippi. A roof in Hawaii might be different from a roof in Buffalo, New York. So I get it. What you do is you do industry standard numbers. If it's just lipstick and mascara, what we call a cosmetic rehab, it doesn't need a whole lot of work. It's not going to take a long time to do. You might need about $30,000, $40,000 worth of work. Get it done. That's a kitchen and bath, floors, paint, and keep it moving. Okay. If you're doing a light rehab, you're going to use $25 per square foot. So we said the subject property was 1,500 square feet times 25. Your construction budget is $37,500. If it's a full gut, double it, $50 per square foot. Okay. Hold on 1 second, Instagram. Let me do what I forgot to do, which was turn my phone off. There we go. I forgot to put my do not disturb on. So I had to put it on so that I wouldn't get text messages and phone calls while we were doing this. Okay. So if it's a full gut, you're going to use anywhere between 50 to 75. If it's a cosmetic rehab, a light rehab, you're going to do 25 to maybe 45, somewhere in there. Okay. All right. Now, here's the kicker. You want to write this down? You can. If you're doing new construction, a lot of people, because sometimes you can do land, you can wholesale land. A lot of people don't understand that. Now, mind you, we're still on number one. We're doing numbers because you guys know I'm very adamant about excuse me, not having numbers done. So if you have the numbers, what I want you guys to do is this. If you're doing a new construction, on a new construction, you're usually going to go anywhere between $150 to $200 per square foot. So when you are wholesaling land, you have to find out what the land is zoned for. You can't just be out here selling people land and not know what it's zoned for. You have to know if there are utilities in place. You have to know things. So we're gonna talk about that later, about a lot of things that you guys don't even know that you should know. Okay. So once you do that, you're gonna subtract from the 70%, which was 210. A cosmetic rehab was 37.5. You subtract that. Okay. So from the 210, you subtract 37.5. And you get 172.5. Okay. 172,500. That's your max allowable offer, right? No, it's not, because you haven't been paid. Okay. So you should be taking what your minimum assignment fee is. I use 5,000. People are like, what? How are you doing $100,000 in wholesaling real estate doing $5,000? Because my minimum is 5,000. I didn't say I didn't get paid more. In some cases, I've been paid less. It depends on what I need to do to make the deal work. And we're going to talk about that too, because y'all little greedy smurfs, y'all not getting paid because y'all greedy. Okay. So the 172.5. And like I said, this is something I want to make the deal work. My assignment fee is 8,000. Okay. Subtract the 8,000. So the most I can offer the seller is 164.5 or 165. However you want to write that. But do I start at 165? No. That's a different, we're not going to go into negotiation. I'm just going to tell you that's your max allowable offer, 165. Okay. Now, reason number two. Reason number two that you guys are not making any money. Everybody cool with number one? Any questions so far? Let me know before I move into number two, because number two is where I'm going to hurt your feelings. Yep. I'm going to really hurt your feelings with number two. So don't blame me, blame you, because it's your fault because you're doing this. Okay. Everybody good? Hey, Denise, how you doing? Hey, Cap. How's everybody doing today? Now, number two, the second reason that you are not making any money as a wholesaler in real estate is this. You are inconsistent. Yep, you're inconsistent. Because let me tell you what you did. Now, first of all, do I coach? Am I a mentor? No, I am a coach. I'm going to give you strategies. I'm going to give you tasks. I'm going to give you homework. I'm going to give you guidance, and I'm going to expect you to follow what I said. So that's a coach. A mentor is somebody that's going to hold your hand, smile in your face, give you some advice, kiss your babies, and all that other good stuff. I ain't got time for that. So I'm being honest. I'm not a mentor. I am a coach. So when I tell you guys that you are inconsistent, believe it. I have people that sign up for my that sign up, pay me to coach them, and don't do what they're being told to do. I kid you not. Okay. So when I tell you that you're inconsistent, believe it. Some of you have wholesaled one deal, and I have one young lady, she did it. She said, I need about $30,000. to start my business because she wanted to start her business. So she said somebody told her wholesaling was a good way to do it. She made $25,000 on her first deal, her first and only deal, I should say, first and only. That's fine if that is what you are trying to do. However, if that's not what you're trying to do, if you're trying to make a business out of wholesaling, and I don't care what you're wholesaling, land, apartment buildings, single family duplexes, mobile homes, whatever it is that you're wholesaling, you have to be consistent. If you are inconsistent, you're going to be considered inconsistent. Buyers are going to see that you're inconsistent. JV partners are going to see that you're inconsistent. Contractors are going to see that you're inconsistent. And if you are inconsistent in wholesaling, they're going to say you're inconsistent in property management. You're inconsistent in flipping. You're inconsistent in buying whole. You are inconsistent. And the reason why you guys are inconsistent is fear. Some of you are afraid, fear of being successful because you know your life will change. Things will change. You get that first check and you're like, oh my gosh. Some of you get triggered and say, okay, I'm going to keep going. The rest of you, the majority of you say, oh my God, I made $5,000, $6,000 and I only did like 2-3 hours worth of work. Yeah. But you have to continuously do that type of work in order to continue to get that type of money. So when you're inconsistent, that's what happens. So like I said, you guys are inconsistent and it's a mental block. It has nothing. I've never known anybody. Like I said, I've had students, coaching clients, whatever you're going to call them. I have had people that I have trained, that I have coached, that I have monitored, not mentored, because I'm coaching and then I monitor their progress. Now, I've had these people who tell me I only want to hit a certain number because then I'm going to take that money and I'm going to start flipping houses. I'm going to take that money and I'm going to start a wig business. I'm going to take that money and I'm going to open up my restaurant. Whatever it is that they want to do, because they don't want to be in real estate. They want to invest in real estate, but they don't want real estate full time. So I get it. However, be consistent until you get to where you need to be. The last thing you want to do is have a buyer that can't depend on you to bring them properties. What's the point of you building a solid buyer's list if you're not going to nurture that list, cater to that list, grow the list, and enhance the list? Work it. You're supposed to scale that list up and down at least once a month. I am on my buyer's list almost every other day. I have a young lady in my inbox right now in Saginaw, Michigan, asking me, do I want to buy her house? Do I want to sell her house? Yep, sure do. Why did she choose me? Because she sees me on Instagram every day, selling houses, marketing properties, doing what I have to do. That's why. All right, so you guys need to be more consistent. How can you be consistent? Easy, schedule your day. That's the one thing you could do. Schedule out your day. Now, who wants to admit to being inconsistent? Okay, I have somebody over here on Facebook. She said, yeah, I need to be more consistent. You have to be. In order to sustain a business, you have to be consistent. You can't just say, oh, well, I'm going to make 50 phone calls today, and then for 2-3 days, you don't call anybody. You can't. You got to be consistent with follow-up. You got to be consistent with lead generation. You got to be consistent with sending letters. You have to be consistent with touching base with your buyer's list. You have to be consistent with following up on people who told you they wanted to sell their house, but not till the end of summer, or that, oh, I'm going to sell it in 4 months. Call me back. They expect you to call them back. They're not going to call you. They're going to expect you to call them back. So you have to be consistent. And the way to be consistent is 2 major ways. Put systems in place. You should have a lead generation system. You should have a follow-up system. You should have a dispose system. Dispo is closing out the transaction. Okay. You should have those 3 systems if you don't have anything else. Lead generation is how you're going to get leads. Follow-up is how you're going to make money, because the majority of your money you're going to find in your follow-ups. And then dispo is when you actually get paid. Okay. So you guys have to be more consistent. I broke down my schedule last week when we were talking about setting goals. Monday, real estate day. Tuesday, property management day. Wednesday, coaching day. Thursday, coaching day. Friday, Airbnb and admin day. Saturday is my catch-all day. Whatever I didn't do during the week gets picked up on Saturday. And Sunday, self-care, because that is one of my goals every week, to make sure I have self-care. Especially me, somebody who suffers from migraines. So yes, self-care is definitely in the mix. Okay, so those are my days. And then on those days, I time block my tasks out. So you have to be consistent. That's the only way you're going to be consistent. All right. Okay. Now, how many of you got very smart, very bright, but talks too much when they were in school? Let me see it in chat. So you could just put me. Say me. I'm going to say me too, because I did it too. I got it too. She's so bright, but she talks too much. She's so bright. She's very intelligent, but she talks too much. This is what we all got that in school. If you got that on your report card from your teachers, in your progress reports, whatever you did, excuse me, put that in your chat. Put it in the chat for me, because I want to know how many people besides me got, she's very bright, but she talks too much. Very good student, but she talks too much. Yeah, I got that. Me. I'm not even gonna lie. Oh, Pam, you said you was the quiet one. Yeah, okay. I was probably the one that was talking. I was probably talking to you. You was just sitting there nodding your head. That's why I got in trouble. And the person I was talking to never got in trouble. But it's fine, because not me. Oh, I can't believe I got all these quiet people. But let's be honest. When you are talking to a seller or you are talking to a buyer and you are on the phone with said seller or said buyer and you're trying to negotiate, the minute they get quiet, you get nervous. Hey, Lala, how you doing? The minute they get quiet, you get nervous. Wrong move. Because then what happens is you get, excuse me, you get nervous and think you have to fill the void by talking. You don't. The third mistake that a lot of wholesalers make is you talk too much. You got to reverse that. You want the seller to talk more. You want the buyer to talk more, because the more they talk, the more they're likely to tell you what it is that you need to know in order to purchase that house from them and sell it to them. That is why you listen. My coach always tells me, you sell by listening, not talking. You sell by listening. So yeah, you guys are talking too much. And then not only are you talking too much, this is number 4. Number 4, and I'm going to tell you why talking too much. I'm going to tell you how not to talk so much. How you lessen the fact that you're going to talk so much is you're going to ask open-ended questions. You're going to ask open-ended questions. And I'm going to give you an example. And I'm going to use Pam, my friend over here on Facebook. So Pam says she's a seller. And I said, yeah. Are you interested in selling your home? No. So she's going to give you a no because you asked her a yes or no question. Correct? Right. So since you asked her a yes or no question, what's going to happen is she's going to give you an answer, one word, yes or no. 9 times out of 10, the answer is going to be no. Are you interested in selling your home? No. Instead, flip it around. Your question should always say who, what, where, when, why, how. Remember that? When we were in school, who, what, where, when, why, and how. That's how you should be asking your questions. So instead of asking Pam, do you want to sell your house? Are you interested in selling your house? Would you consider selling your house? Because the answer is no, no, and no. Why? Because Pam just got off work. She's frustrated. She got all these kids running around the house. Her husband sitting on the couch, or he's still at work late. She got to cook dinner, do homework, get baths, and do hair for the next day, and all this other crap. She do not have time for your shenanigans calling her house, asking her a million questions. Yes or no, I'm frustrated. No, I don't want to sell my house, and don't call me no more. Goodbye. Even if she wants to sell it, right now is not the time. She don't want to talk to you. So in other words, what you need to do is, first of all, be patient. Excuse me. Be patient. And secondly, you ask the question different. Not, do you want to sell or are you interested in selling? How much would you want for your property if you were to sell it? Because now she has to answer me. How many phone calls do you get a day regarding this property? And I'm pretty sure everybody's offering you different amounts. What was the dollar amount of the last offer you received? How many offers have you received on this property? Notice what I just did, right? I asked the question and stopped talking. Because now I'm waiting for Pam to answer me. So now Pam's gonna answer me. Happens all the time. I had it happen, and I kid you not. People want to be heard. These sellers, right now, a lot of sellers are in foreclosure. A lot of them are in tax delinquent, mortgage delinquent. A lot of them are underwater. Even just a year ago, 2 years ago, they bought their prices when it was a seller's market. Everything was going sky high. Now they try to talk back. Now they try to come down. Now they want to sell it, and the price is not yesterday's price is not today's price. So they want to be heard. They want to talk to you. They want to hear you out. But you have to ask the right questions. That's just it. Oh, thank you. I don't know who that is over on Facebook, but thank you so much. They said they love this content. So that's where it is. You talk, you're talking too much, but in regards to, it's not that a conversation shouldn't be had. It just shouldn't be had by you. The conversation should be had by the seller. The seller should be telling you about the house. The seller should be telling you when you can come by. The original phone call, the first contact for you is to get your foot in the door. And I mean, literally, the objective of the first phone call is to see the house, to schedule the appointment to see the house. A lot of you are doing this backwards, and you go out and you go, oh, well, I'm going to go. Okay, so are you interested in selling a house? No. Well, I know. Well, I see the house is vacant and the house is a little ran down. How long has it been vacant? You're not asking that question. Why are you asking all those questions while you're on the phone? My objective, my phone calls, my first phone call to a seller, I kid you not, they last no more than 8 minutes. I think 10 was the longest. Because all I want to do is get in the house. I can ask her about the roof, the windows, the doors, the floors, the structure. I can see all that when I go to see the property. Now, of course, a lot of you want a virtual wholesale and you're not in the same city where you're wholesaling. But guess what? That's where you have good boots on the ground. And we'll talk about that later down the line. Because we're going to talk about, I'm hoping I can get through this. We're only on number 3 and we already been on here 45 minutes. So I'm hoping, I try not to overwhelm you guys. So we're going to do number 4 and then I'm going to quit for the day. Well, no, I'll do number 5. I'll do up to 4 and 5 and then we'll quit for the day and I'll do the rest tomorrow. Okay. All right. So you guys are talking way too much. Excuse me. Ooh, this is so, it's hurt my chest now. So stop trying to talk and listen. You sell by listening. Guess what's going to happen when you talk to Pam next time? You're going to talk to Pam and Pam's going to tell you, you know what she says to you? She's saying, you know what? I am sick of people calling me about this house. Really? Well, how many phone calls are you getting a day? That's your conversation. Well, how many phone calls do you get a day? Pam's going to say, I get like 10 phone calls a day from all these weird random numbers. They all want to buy the house. And everybody who offers me, because this is what Pam's going to do. She's going to ramble. Pam's going to tell you that she's getting 10 phone calls a day. She's going to tell you that she's gotten 6, 7 offers, and none of them were where she wanted to be. That's the question you're listening for. Because your question in response to that is, well, how much did they offer you? Not how much do you want? How much did they offer? Because then you need to know when you get ready to run your numbers, you already have the bottom. You already have the basement number. She don't want that. So that's the number you have. It's psychological. You just want to listen to what Pam is going to tell you. So Pam is going to tell you, well, my house, the neighbors down the street sold their house for $250, and this guy's offering me $120. Okay, so we know we can't offer Pam $120. But when you run your numbers, and if her number came out, excuse me, and her number came out 120 or lower, then now you can't wholesale it, maybe, but you can do a creative finance strategy and wholesale it that way. You sure can. And we'll be talking about that in the free class. So I need you guys to just tune in. Like, you guys, if you're just tuning in or you tuned in late, I am having a free wholesaling course, a training on May 31st at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can click the link. I put the link in at or LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and on Instagram. If you click the link in my bio, it's there. Anywhere if you click my website link on any of my social media platforms, it's there. So you guys can sign up and register for that. Okay. Now let's get into number 4. I touched on it a few minutes ago, but I'm going to tell you what it is. You guys are greedy. Greedy, 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 greedy. Greedy, greedy, greedy. I think Janet Jackson sung that in one of her songs. The one with Joni Mitchell, and they did the remix of it. Yep. Don't you think? No, not Joni Mitchell. Yeah, Joni Mitchell. You won't reduce your assignment fee. And a lot of you are like, that's my check. I don't care. Well, it's not your check, because I'm going to say like this. Something is better than nothing. I mean, really, right? Something is better than nothing. Something is better than nothing. Something is better than nothing. Because I can't take nothing to the bank. I can't take it. I can't pay my car note, my mortgage, my car insurance, my homeowner's insurance. I can't pay my light bill, my gas bill, my cell phone bill, my internet, all my streaming services. I can't pay that if I don't get paid. And if you refuse to lower your assignment fee, you're going to lose. But you would, I mean, I don't understand how people say this. And this was in one of the Facebook groups that I'm in the other day. They said, the commission was supposed to be $50,000. And something happened, and the seller needed the real estate agent to come down $10,000 on her commission. And she was refusing to do it. So if you don't come down on your commission, the deal's not going to close. So you're not going to get anything. That's dumb. Stop it. I told y'all, I'm not here to be your friend. I'm not here to be nice. I'm going to tell you the real deal. I'm going to keep it straight, no chaser, and let you know exactly how I feel about that. That's dumb. That's completely dumb. I don't understand why you would do something like that. That's dumb. Dumb as dumb can get. Dumb. Okay? That is just dumb. I've never in my life let a deal fall apart if I can't take it, just because I don't want to take a lesser amount on my assignment fee or my commission. No, deals won't close around here. If I have to make it work, I have to make it work. You would rather lose 40,000 over 10,000. Either way, either way, you're not getting paid. Excuse me. Either way, you're not going to get paid. So that's just dumb. And I'll give you an example. So my highest commission to date on wholesaling real estate, I made $50,000 on one transaction. Okay. Now, let me tell you what I did and I didn't have to do. but I did it because I ended up making more than the seller made, because the seller said they only wanted 40,000. I sold it for 90 and I made 50,000. So what I did was I covered the seller's closing costs. So they literally would walk away with a clean 40. They walked away with their 40,000. I paid them back up to $5,000 for their closing costs so that they would walk away with a clean 40. So sometimes you have to work here and not just here. Sometimes you have to get out of your head and work with your heart and do something nice for someone. And you have to figure out what's, excuse me, what's the deal? The reason why a lot of wholesalers do that is because they've already spent that money. They spent their money before they got it. So they have to have that money now because they've already spent it. No, I don't do that. Mm-mm. So you have to do it a different way. That's just dumb. Stop doing that. Okay. You won't reduce your assignment fee. Where they do that at? I don't know where they do that at. Okay. Now, I'm going to say number 5, and then we're going to stop. Okay. Number 5. Tell me, if you can, in the chat, if you're listening, please put in the comments what type of properties you're looking for when you wholesale. What type of properties are you looking for when you wholesale? I had a question over here on Instagram too. Oh, hey. What type of properties are you looking for when you wholesale? When you're wholesaling real estate, I know you guys have, Pam says she's looking for a single family. Lala says she's looking for distressed. Okay. What type of properties are you? There's no wrong answer. You just, it is what it is when you're looking. Okay. Lala's looking for distressed properties. Pam's looking for a single family. Pam, does your property have to be move-in ready? Lala said pre-foreclosures. That's a good one too. Distress is good. Pre-foreclosure is good. Single family is good. Here's the mistake that you guys make. Wholesalers, because you listen to the gurus, the do-rules, and the no-rules that don't know nothing. Okay? You do not have to have, the property does not have to be distressed in order for you to wholesale it. It doesn't have to be vacant, doesn't have to be abandoned, doesn't have to be broken down, doesn't have to need any work. The property don't even have to have a house on it. See, one of my boot camp members is on here. He's looking for no distress. Okay, vacant preferably. Okay, she said no distress. Pam said she doesn't want it distressed, but she does want it vacant, and that's fine. Here's the thing: out of the last 10 properties that I've wholesaled, only one was distressed. The other 9 were all occupied. Some of them were in great condition, didn't require any work. Stop thinking, the mistake that you guys make is thinking that you can only wholesale a distressed property. That's not true. I have wholesaled properties that people bought 2 years ago and that they are living in, because now their job is transferring them, or now they've decided to get a divorce and they can't afford the house anymore, so they want to sell the house and things like that. So your property does not have to be distressed. It does not have to be vacant. It does not have to need a lot of work. It can need no work. You can wholesale land. You can wholesale farms. You can wholesale mobile homes. You can wholesale new builds. You can wholesale anything. You can wholesale the properties on the MLS. They don't have to be off market. I've wholesaled a lot of houses on the MLS. You can do whatever you want with them. You don't have to wholesale distressed properties. There's this little word I want you guys to start getting into your vocabulary. It's called creative financing. creative financing. And if you wholesale properties using creative finance strategies, you don't have to have distressed properties. And you still sometimes you make more money than you would have on a distressed property. Okay? All right. That was number 5. That's where we're going to stop. I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes of Q&A. And then we'll go from there. Because, yeah, we've been on here almost, 5 minutes of Q&A. So if you guys have any questions about anything that we've talked about today, or if you have a question about wholesaling in general, let me know. I'm going to answer for the next 5 minutes. In the meantime, in between time, don't forget, we are doing contract to closing, wholesaling real estate, May 31st, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we are going to do it every Wednesday. So if you can't make May 31st, click the link in the bio, pick your date. There's only 100 spots available in each class. I will say that. There is only 100 spots available in each class. So, and I'll put the link in the bio. I'll put the link in the chat over for LinkedIn, Instagram, you can use the link in my bio. Hammers and Hills Facebook group, that's my community. If you guys want to network with a bunch of real estate investors and professionals, Hammers and Hills is the Facebook group where I have all of that. We go live at least twice a week in there for their different trainings. They also get exclusive access and first dibs on free trainings, merchandise, discount tickets on public events, and things like that. So Hammers and Hills is where it's at. We do good stuff over there. Now, if you want to get in this free training, please click the link in the bio, tap the button that says Contracts to Closing. Contract to Closing. Wholesaling real estate. That is the button you want to push. Push that button, register for one of the classes. Let's get in here and start getting money. Okay? Now, somebody asked me, what is creative financing? Creative financing strategies are strategies. The creative financing is when you use alternative methods other than traditional lending. So you don't use the bank. So, for example, a subject to when you're taking over someone else's mortgage, a wrap mortgage where you're doing creative financing to do someone else's, to essentially take over somebody else's mortgage. Seller financing, when the seller will hold the mortgage and be the bank for you. Taking money out of your insurance policy, cashing in some of your insurance policy, your IRAs, your 401ks, just so that you can be your own bank. That's creative finance strategies. Lease with an option to purchase or rent to own. That's a creative finance strategy. Can you wholesale any one of these strategies? Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So that's anything outside of a traditional bank is a creative finance strategy. How do you determine your assignment fee? Do you use a percentage or a flat fee? That's a good question. And I'm going to be honest, you're the only one who can answer that. That's why we set goals in the beginning. That's why we started with goal setting. And now we're talking about the mistakes because I don't want you guys to make the mistakes that I even made. One mistake that's not even on this list that I made when I first started wholesaling is I went out and found properties first. And then I was finding that having a hard time finding buyers because nobody wanted the property. So then I switched my system and I started reversing it where I put buyers first. So now I would find my buyers and build my buyers list. And then I would start going out and looking for the properties that they want to buy. They've already told me what they want, where they want it, how much they're going to pay for it. I just had to find it. So once I found it, close deals left and right. That's why I don't look at I don't really advertise for properties as much as I do that. So when you're doing that, you have to determine your own assignment fee. My minimum assignment fee is $5,000. Well, this year, let me explain when I say this year. My new year, I've always counted my new year to start on my birthday. Y'all new year start January 1st. My new year starts June 5th on my birthday. And what I do is sorry, guys. my kids. I'm on live streaming and they don't understand that I'm working. So they just keep coming here. I just keep trying to tell them to go away, but they don't listen. Anyway, so my minimum assignment fee for my 2023-2024 year is $10,000. I'm raising it up. So, but this 9 times out of, for the longest time, it's been $5,000. And so that's my minimum assignment fee. What fits your goals? That's how you determine your fee. You determine your own assignment fee. Okay. All right. That's it. That's all. I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay, wait a minute. One last question just came in. I know you said that I should be asking open questions, but what do I say when the seller calls back irritated and I'm in a hurry and only wants to know how much I can offer the house, but I haven't seen the property? What do I say? Simply this: I would love to offer you a fair price, but in order to do that, I do have to see the property. I do have to have my contractor come by to take an estimate. So until I am able to do that, I can't offer you a fair price. My price is going to be much lower than what you probably want until I can see it. What we can do though is I can come see it. The offer I give you now will be contingent upon me seeing it. Either way, I still have to see it. I'm entitled to an inspection period. It's very simple. You guys, that's another, it's not on my list, but I can throw it out there. That's another thing. You guys are afraid to lose a deal. I don't understand why. Deals can be had all day, all night. I'm not doing it. I'm not putting an offer in on a property that I haven't seen. I don't even know why these sellers think they can. Who does that? Nobody. Even if I'm virtually wholesaling, my boots on the ground is going to go and see that property. And that's that. That's how that works. So no, I'm not putting an offer in on a house I haven't seen. Let somebody else do that, because what's going to happen is you're going to overprice. You're going to overprice something. Another thing that's not on my list that you guys do wrong. You mention money first. The first person to mention money loses the negotiation. First person to mention money loses the negotiation. Because the first person to spit out a dollar amount, always, always, always. If the wholesaler says a dollar amount, here's why you don't mention money first. Pam, me and you, we back in business, baby. So if I say a price to Pam for her property, and I say, hey, Pam, I would like to offer you $75,000. And she goes, okay. Want to know why she said okay? Because she wasn't expecting that much. So now I'm stuck overpriced and overpaying for a property that I shouldn't be paying for. I shouldn't be paying a high price for. Now, in her mind, she was probably thinking 40 or 50, and I just paid her $25,000 more than what she was asking, what she was expecting. So that's why I tell you guys, you cannot mention money first. You let the seller tell you what they want. You guys are so afraid to lose a deal. Deals are going to come and go. They building houses every day. Deals are going to come and go. You don't have to close every deal. You don't have to accept every offer. You don't have to. No. I had a guy tell me a couple months ago, oh, you'll never sell that house for that much. You're right. I sold it for more. Thank you. And he called me back a couple of weeks later. Did you, is that house still available? No. Oh, so what'd you get for it? Well, now that it's completely under contract and we're getting ready to close in a couple of days, I can tell you I sold it for $4,000 more than what I was asking. I appreciate you. He was like, oh, I didn't think it would sell that. That's why. Yeah. That's why I went with the other offer. But thank you. You can't be afraid to say no to people. If you know your numbers are airtight, your numbers are right on, spot on, don't The people are going to try to lowball you. Other wholesalers are going to come in and try to lowball you, and then they're going to try and get it for higher. Then they're going to try and sell it higher to somebody else. You don't want them type of problems. Don't be afraid to. No, no, thank you. I appreciate it, but no, thank you. I'm negotiating a 3 unit in Milwaukee right now, and she wants $350,000. There is not a comp in sight that is worth $350,000 for her house. Not one. So guess what I told her? Sweetie, I appreciate that, but your house isn't worth that much. Especially since you got family paying rent and the rent doesn't even come up to $1,000 a month on a 3 unit apartment. So my offer is going to be low, just so you're aware, but it's going to be fair because the property doesn't need a lot of work. You're welcome, Lala. But yeah, don't be afraid to lose a deal. Don't be afraid to tell somebody no. That's just like when you don't be afraid to fire your clients. Real estate agents. I know I had a client from hell. No, you got to go. Mm-mm. I do not want to deal with you. I politely referred that lady to somebody else. I don't have time. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm going to get out of here because I have to shower. Because like I said, I was looking at old houses today. And I have to go shower, get into bed, read a book, and go to sleep. So don't forget, May 31st, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to do a free wholesaling training. And every Wednesday thereafter, we're going to be doing the same. It's going to be the same one. So if you miss one, you can get the next one if you'd like. Or if you can't make this one, you can register for. All the dates are listed. So when you click the link to register, all the dates are listed. And you can click which one you want to attend. Okay. The spots are limited. There's only 100 spots in each training session. So get in where you fit in and let's get this done. Those of you who are on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, thank you for sticking it out with your girl. I appreciate you. I will see you guys tomorrow. And remember what I always tell you guys, if you can choose to be anything you want in this world, I just hope that you choose to be kind. Because at some point in your life, someone was kind to you. And it's always a really cool thing to do to pay kindness forward. Not only does it make you a better person, but if we all did it, make the world a better place. Have a great night. God bless you. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye. Oh, boot camp tomorrow, 7 o'clock. I'll see you guys. My boot camp members. All right. Bye.